1995, diverted East Coast mainline service to London King's Cross.
For the level crossing project I'm working on, I bought this kit. I think it's been out for just under a year. It's a Pico Wheels modern kit, modern level crossing, serial number SSM318. It's a kit, plastic kit. You've got to make it yourself and paint it yourself as well, and it looks really interesting. So I'm working on this at the moment. It's going to be a long-term project, and I'll just update you as I go along. Okay, I've now built the level crossing up a little bit more, and I've covered this with a downloadable roadway sheet, or a few sheets actually. So I've got the level crossing here marked out with a grid, and I put a double white line for an overtaking in the middle, and basically I've just layered this up, and also on each side there's two pavements. This is all downloadable for Scale Scenics, and it's come out really well. I've had to adjust the grid in the middle, the yellow and black grid, between the lines. I've had to cut between. It's quite easy to do, just paper basically, and I've stuck that on with a Pritt stick, one of these, because I was finding the glue from PVA was coming through and it goes a little bit of a greeny colour. Just got a few little bits to file off and finish down here, and the next stage is putting the barriers up. Okay, I've temporarily fitted the barriers into place just to get an idea where they're going. So I've drilled some holes in these four areas. It's got to be levelled up, so it looks quite good already actually. I've painted the barriers myself, a very fiddly job. It's not come out too bad. So these got to be levelled up. They're only here temporary for now, so they're going to be worked upon. See, that one's bowed already, so I've got to work on that. So what I'm going to do here, it's going to be a working level crossing, a long-term project as I say, and I'm going to fit these Pico Servomotors, which is a code PLS125, and it comes with all the parts here with the servo motor. The wire, which is like a piano wire, which is attached to this area here, which pulls the signal up, sorry, the barrier up. So it's going to be a very interesting project, long term, and I'll say I bought 4 of these, so it's got the fixing bracket with it as well. So I could buy those cheaper off the internet singly, but it comes with a whole package, so I bought these, 4 of these, and I've got to get a bit of a PCB board that fits underneath. I think it's block signalling. I'll do that, and obviously the lights and everything as well. So it's going to be an interesting little project. Just mention the grid here on the level crossing. It's downloaded from Smart Models, so basically downloaded it and printed it off on my printer via the computer, laptop, etc. And again, it's just on normal plain paper, A4 size. I printed this off and cut it between the rails, make sure it fits correctly, and that's come out really well for £1. Okay, this is a progress on the Pico 00 gauge 4 barrier set level crossing, and to be honest with you, it's been an absolute pig to do so far. It took him weeks, in the evenings and weekends, hours, and in the instructions it says you can motorise these with servo motors, but to be honest with you, they aren't designed for the requirements, i.e. this bit here there's a plastic pivot to hold the barrier on. Now as soon as I operated that, snapped off straight away because you've got a tension wire behind there, and it just didn't work. So I've had to re-drill this and put some screws and bolts in. So I found a company on the internet, some very tiny screws from Prime Miniatures they're called. So these are the pack of screws I've used, which are M1.2, and the 6 of those by 6, sorry, and 25 of those in a pack. So if I lose any, they are very, very tiny micro screws. And to hold those in place, there's these 1.2 hexagon open nuts, and they seem to have done the job. As I said, the Pico kit's not designed really to have servo motors as it is, so it has to be re-engineered. Now as you can see, you've got 3 barriers up at the moment. One's collapsed, had a problem with the tension piano wire that comes with it. So basically, just look behind there, there's a wire connected to the bottom. I'll show you later how it operates. So that's been cut too short, so I've ordered some more of that wire. So I've got 3 barriers working at the moment. I'll just give you a quick demo. Obviously on this video I'll do the absolute full completion, so it might be quite a long video, but here we go. Right, I'll just do the demo mode. There's no lights yet, I've got those to do. Barriers down, the barrier down, a few adjustments there, and it goes back up in sequence again. So a bit more work to do. I'm going to crack on with it. The thing on the barrier arms here, I've had to cut off the skirting. I tried it. Obviously the skirt doesn't fold, so I've had to cut back and file those. It looks much better without it, so the skirt has been cut off. I advise that it just looks wrong completely when it's operational. So just basically cut the skirting back and just file very carefully down there on the barriers. Okay, all the 4 barrier arms are now operational. I've had to buy some more piano wire, sort of spring wire, because I cut one too short. I had real problems fitting these, but it's been done and they're all working. I've also painted these barrier boxes in a grey colour, as they were. Sometimes they were sort of a greeny colour as well, and painted the actual concrete platforms there in a grey colour. I've also ballasted round each of the boxes in like a sandy sort of ballast, as they are. I've had a look at these on the internet and approached some level crossings while I've been at work, and I had to wander around a little bit to see how they work and how they're situated. I've had to twist a couple round a bit to get the barriers level. For some reason they were a bit off centre, but it seems to have worked. So the next stage is fitting the level crossing lights, warning lights. Okay, this is the device that will operate the 4 barriers, the warning lights for level crossing, and it's also got sound as well. It's got 18 different variations of sound from around the world of different level crossings. I think there's three UK sounds. One's the more common Yoda alarm sound, and it's got a couple of bell sounds as well. I've only listened to one of those so far, and it's all programmable. There's a little switch here by a sequence of lights. It takes a while to get used to programming it. Once you've done it a few times, it's easy to do, but you can set different variations, and also for the barriers, different variations of open and closing as well. So it's a very clever little device. It's a LCS B6, and it's a 4 barrier type as well. Now I had a little problem here, and I spent hours trying to suss this out, and I thought I'd done something wrong, but I hadn't. What it is, I've purchased these level crossing warning lights, and these aren't fixed by the way yet. I've got that to do, and these are from Layouts for You. They look very good, and it says on the website they are suitable for this device. Now I tried to connect it and it just didn't work. Nothing was happening apart from the barriers going up and down. So I contacted Block Signaling. Steve there was very helpful, and it needed a conversion. This is negative. It needed converted to positive for these lights. So they're the other way around. So beware if you do buy them from Layouts For You. It can be done, but for £5 it needs a conversion. So if you are purchasing this, just make sure you've got the correct polarity on the voltage there. So a really good device. Now I've got to refit this. I sent it away to be done, to have that reconfigured. So the next stage is fitting this and fitting these warning lights up properly. Okay, amongst a mess of wiring here which I've got to tidy up, I'll just briefly show you how the sounds operate on here. So what I've got to do, trying on the camera at the same time, if I switch it on with the button down, press, it'll flash. 1, 2, flash again, 1 flash.
Block signaling level crossing module.
Hear the sounds. That's a Yoda alarm sound, which is UK. And then got some bell sound, which is also some level crossings in the UK that use that. Quite like that actually. Like a sort of fire alarm bell there, but apparently that's used as well. And then you've got the continental level crossing warning alarms. I'll not take you through the whole lot, there's quite a few here, I'll just give you a couple more. So you've got a vast array of choice there, just do one more. Further up the line, the level crossing operates on a motion sensor DCC. So you have to isolate the positive end of the rail. So I've done one this side and one down the track at the other side, with enough left for the carriage of a freight train to clear the crossing. So it's quite interesting, when the train stops, say at the station nearby, the barriers go back up again. So it's quite interesting. I shall do a demo shortly on that. Okay, I've fixed now to place the barrier warning lights for the level crossing. I believe these are called wigwags, something to do with a lighting system, I think they call them that. So let's do another demo. I've gone through the demonstration modes and there's different settings. This is my favourite one. So this is the test mode. Here we go. Okay, that seems to be working fine. Okay, while I waited for the module to come back, I did some scenic work here. So I've grassed the banks here, a few bushes need adding, and I put this fence in around the barriers, which is prototypical, and it's starting to look pretty good now. I'm quite pleased with this. So more detailing, and next bits are the signs that go around here. Okay, another part of the Wheels kit level crossing is this double camera, security camera here, CCTV camera, usually monitored by the level crossing box, signal box. I've painted this white on the top for the two cameras, and the actual support, the steel support there, I spray painted grey. Again, that little detail makes all the difference. So that's looking down on the crossing there. Okay, I've now fixed the signage around the barrier warning lights. The sign is from Eagle Models and they look very good. The signs on the barrier warning lights of wigwags are from Eagle 1 models, and so that just finished that off. Another train come in. If lights continue to show, and keep crossing clear on both sides of those. On the fence there's a trespass warning sign, and on the rear there as well there's also a trespass warning sign. Again, they just finish that off with a little bit of detail in there. Okay, just show you the down line on the crossing. So it's come to life now, and looks quite realistic. So what I like about this kit is the little detailing you get with it, like these trespass boards, so people don't walk across the level crossing or from the level crossing onto the track. All the detail to me on a layout matters, and that just finishes the edge of that crossing off really well. Next to the signal box is this relocatable equipment building. The equipment here is for the level crossing electronics in real life. So I've painted that with the aircon unit on the side there, painted white. I've spray painted the building grey with a black roof, and I put it next to the signal box there. I may relocate that as well, I'm not sure yet. I might leave it there, it looks pretty good as it is actually. So that's part of the kit as well, part of the wheels kit, as well as this metal fencing, which is obviously plastic, but in real life it's metal. So I've used a little bit of that as well, and again it's a good kit. Okay, I've also fitted these road signs warning of the level crossing ahead, which are illuminated. I've got to wire these up yet. There's a couple of these. There's one there, one on either side. I painted the back of the sign a grey colour, as with all the other signs as well, so the white of the sign doesn't show and look wrong. And that's the signage now for the level crossing done. You can also run trains through without having the power for the barriers on. Just leave this to rest with the barriers down as well, so it's not operating all the time. Could get quite annoying, but this has been a very long project, but worthwhile because it's come out really well. All I've got to do now, I've ordered a floodlight for the level crossing. There's a dummy one that comes with the kit, but I've ordered an LED scale one. So that's the Wheels Double O level crossing with extra bits and pieces like the barrier warning lights, etc. So level crossing lights, and quite pleased with this. Just want to thank Ron Stanbridge. He also has got a 00 working level crossing similar to this on YouTube. I've sought his advice on a couple of technical issues that I came up with, and he's very kindly responded back and helped me out on a couple of things. So just recommend you check that out. He's used this kit as well, doing it slightly different to me, but I sought an advice on two issues, and he helped me through that. So thank you very much, Ron, for that. The only disappointing thing with this slightly, I'm not that bothered, is the barriers don't lift fully to the full-on position. Don't want to force that. But there you go, it's not too bad now. But they do stick sort of not entirely at the barrier arm length when it's raised. Just a small item there. I've tried fixing it that way, but it could break the actual mechanism. So I've not done that after struggling for hours trying to get this thing going. The other thing is I've ordered a floodlight as well for the level crossing, so it will be illuminated at night. There's a dummy one that comes with it, with the kit. I'm not using that. I've ordered one from China, which is HO scale. Just got to repaint it to British colours, UK colours, and that will be added, and I'll film that at a later date. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the project.